were your initial thoughts when you were told that you were going to be turning babyface?
Yeah. I didn't like it. And, you know, I didn't like it. If they would have given me the belt back when I had Hogan, which I suggested to him, it would have brought him to a new level. To a new level. But I guess they didn't, they didn't think that was the right thing to do. And I think they gave it to Savage then or something later. I was already gone then.
Right.
I know this, that we still hold records. Madison Square Garden sold out. Our first time there sold out. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it was gone. 78,000 in Toronto.
Right, that was the big event.
Yeah,
Show.
I mean, that's when Vince really knew what he had. See, he knew, when you got special people. And that's why I like Vince so well, is that he gave me a shot he gave me a green light. And really, him and Bill Watts were probably the only two, and not even so much Bill, but Vince gave me the green light that time. Or let me say he gave me a caution light.
Right.
And then I took it to the next level. It wasn't supposed to be this way. But I had a plan. I really did.
Did you enjoy working as a babyface at that time?
No.
No, you had some great matches. I believe it was you and Hogan against Roddy and Bob Orton.
Yeah, we had good matches. Yeah, they were all good matches. But just wasn't the same,
Right.
It really wasn't me. But I had to make it that way. So.
Right. How'd you like working with Roddy and Bob Orton?
I never really liked to work with Piper. I mean, he was limited to what he could do. He was one of the best horn guys, talking. But his work was, I didn't like to work with him. I mean, he just, didn't do nothing for me.
Right. I think I already covered this with you before, but was Hogan difficult to deal with as a partner, or was he still level-headed?
No.
Level.
No. He was a businessman.
Remember he's working with Big John Studd.
Yeah, I like John. Yeah, I know his little boy named John. Well, he ain't no little boy now. But John, if you're out there, if you ever hear this, your dad was a great guy. He was. I used to go over to John's house, and we used to train a lot together. And people like that, you miss. People like that, you miss them because they were good guys. We went to Japan together a lot.
Right.
Me and Brian Blair used to pull jokes on him all the time.
Huh.
And those were all good times.
Now, was there a lot of politics in the WWF at this time?
Brother, there wasn't just one great white shark in that tank. There was a whole bunch of great white sharks. And there again, I'm not a real good politician. I'll never forget one time Vince McMahon said, he said, Paul, you're too honest. And I'd let my honesty be too honest. Because that's just where I was. But yes, everybody. Because see, we didn't have contracts. All you had was a handshake from the boss saying you were going to make money.
Right.
A lot of money. And everybody, the thing with Schultz, the whole thing, even with Piper, Roddy's a politician too. And he's, people like that, they always, for some reason, could get in with the office. They just had that knack, and I let my work talk. It's just the way I felt. And I feel that way today. That some people can work better with their mouth than they can with what they're supposed to be doing. And that's with your body out there and, getting the people and drawing crowds. And, that was me.
Was it hard being a babyface knowing that you could never get past Hogan because he was a top dog at the time?
No, not really. Because you knew, you knew.
Right.
And the guy was drawing money, and he was still hot. But no, not really. Like I said, you're making a lot of money, man. you try to overlook it, but yet again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I wasn't prideful, you know, and I was, and but I've given that pride up now, and I know who the real Mr. Wonderful is, the man up there, and I know that now.
Memories and thoughts on Dynamite Kid, and do you think his ribbing ever went over the line?
Oh, Dynamite. He was a tiger. He was a lot like Chris Benoit. Dynamite was a good guy. He was. Did he go overboard with it? Yeah. Well, yeah. I think there's a few times. But when you look, it was funny, but I don't mind playing a joke or something, but not to the point that it's going to hurt somebody or destroy their stuff or anything like that. I wasn't into that. And but some of the stuff they've done was pretty funny.
Right.
But some of the people that I don't think it was right. Of course, they say what goes around comes around. So.
Thoughts on Terry Funk from back then?
Terry's him and Dick Slater. You know, Terry was in a whole school by himself, man. He was way ahead of his time as well. Very intelligent. I mean, he knows the business. He just beat himself up just so bad that I feel sorry for him. I mean, because here's a guy that for all these years, man, wow, he's been around. And he still goes. He gives it all that he can give.
He's working Abbey here next month.
Yeah, he gives it his best. You can bank on it. One thing about Terry Funk, he'll find a way. And that's where a good worker, guy that can switch gears and can find a way. You got to find a way. Because you try something and it may not work. You got to try something else. And that's why you've got to be able to change those gears.
When you went from wrestling the main event at the first Mania to Don Morocco in the second, did that bother you at all?
No. Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did. But, no offense to Don, and I like Don, but his style and my style didn't.
Right.
It just wasn't a good mix, in my opinion. But that's okay. You got to realize that, you have to be put on the burner sometimes. And I probably drove Vince crazy. So,
Right.
Whatever.
Memories and thoughts on your matches with Adrian Adonis?
That dress?
Yeah.
See, I couldn't. I told him I wasn't going to do it. Because, see, to me, here you got an athlete, a guy that's been in, blah, 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 is a butt kicker and this and aggressive and fire and all this, and then work with somebody like that in the dress and stuff. That's where I let my pride get in the way. It probably would have been really good if I had done it.
Right.
And I look back now, I probably done it. But I didn't. That's the way I thought.
Did you get any heat from the office for not wanting to work with him, or?
Probably.
Right.
But I had enough money in the bank, I didn't care.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.